So the Tesla Model 3 rear-wheel drive, I've owned it for 2 years. Is it good? Is it bad? How's my experience been? I've been driving the Model Y a lot more. Why is that? Well, we're gonna break it down and we're gonna discuss, and I'm gonna share all the nitty-gritty details with you throughout this video, how much charging has costed and any repairs that I've done, expenses, things like that. How has the overall experience been? And of course, the biggest question I get, how is a rear-wheel drive in the winter time? So I bought this car September 1st, 2022. So I've owned it for over 2 years. It's currently sitting at 33,263 kilometers, just about 16,500-ish kilometers per year that I've owned the vehicle. There could be more kilometers on it, but I've been driving the Model Y a bit more over the last while, and that is due to traveling, doing longer range road trips with the 4 kids. I have found that the Model Y, space-wise, is nicer. The Model 3 is definitely perfect for everyday errands, running around, doing my real estate job, bringing signs out and things like that. It's definitely got enough storage and space for that. But when you have a family of 4 and 2 dogs and you're wanting to do longer trips, you definitely need a little bit more space, and that's why the Model Y has been driven more over the last little while as we've gone to Florida twice this year, things like that. But the Model 3 rear-wheel drive. Winter driving, it's been fantastic. The tires that came on it were terrible in the winter, not good at all for grip and things like that. I bought Michelin X Ice tires pretty quickly. Those tires have been really good in the winter, providing lots of grip. The only downside I would say to the Model 3 is how low it is to the ground. So when you get significant snowfall, it can be a bit tricky, especially on my street. They plow it a day, 2 days later, depending on how much snowfall there is and how busy their plow drivers are. And my house is on a hill, so it can be tricky sometimes when there's already tire ruts. One of my favorite features is autopilot, which is on all the Teslas right now except for the Cybertruck, and the autopilot just keeps it between the lanes, keeps it at a certain speed, will speed up and slow down if there's a vehicle in front of you. It won't stop at stop signs, it won't stop at lights, so you still need to pay attention and do that. And anyways, you should pay attention to the road and what's going on, because if a small animal or a 2x4, this happened to me once where there was a 2x4 and it was across the highway. Autopilot didn't see it, just read it as a line, and I had to swerve around it. Autopilot's not going to protect you from things like that, so you definitely 100% need to pay attention to where you're driving and how you're driving. But autopilot is definitely a nice feature in terms of keeping you in the lane, allowing you to grab a Tim Hortons drink it, and not have 2 hands fully on the wheel. It allows you to have a little bit of a break from that, and you don't have to have your feet there on the pedal. It does give you a nudge notification with a blue line across the top. You do need to contact the wheel pretty often, and it does recommend that you do keep a hand on the steering wheel at all times and pay attention to what's in front of you. So autopilot, big plus, love it. It makes the trips, like when we go down to Florida, makes that easy. I can easily do a 14-hour day. Storage room in terms of the front and the trunk and the under trunk, there's a decent amount of space. It's definitely suitable for a single person or a family of 2 or even a family of 3. It does work for a family of 4 for us, but it can be tight for those longer road trips. We can take this pretty much anywhere we need to, except for those longer range road trips where we have quite a bit more stuff. The solution to that is I could put the roof rack bars that I have for this from Tesla and storage container up there, and we would be fine. So that is a solution for those of you fit into the budget of the Model 3 rear-wheel drive, especially with incentives and the $1,300 off. Link in description below if you want $1,300 off your purchase and you want the newest, latest, greatest Model 3. Even if you're buying a used one, like a 2022 year, it's definitely a good value. The 2022 year came with parking sensors around the vehicle, which they do not have on any of the newer Teslas. So that I find is a plus, especially parking in my garage, having those sensors. Although the vision cameras, the vision tech seems to be pretty good, and I did actually switch it over on this car to use that, because I do find that it's nice to have a bubble and see where things are on the screen. It's great technology, actually, the vision cameras. But if you're someone that wants a parking sensor vehicle, you're going to want a 2022 or older. So how does the Tesla Model 3 rear-wheel drive? It has been driving great. Handling, I prefer the handling and the peppiness of the vehicle over the Tesla Model Y rear-wheel drive. It's got a little bit more speed as well. The handling and nimbleness of it just feels more sports car-like. It feels planted to the road. It turns quick, and yeah, it's just nice and sharp that way. One thing I don't like sometimes is that it thinks you're going to have an accident when there's a car parked on the side of the road. Like what just happened there, you heard that beeping noise. Thought I was going to run into the back of a pickup truck. Now, I'll give it a little bit of grace because I was doing a little bit of NASCAR tire warm up there, as I explained about the nimbleness of turning and such. But still, that is a little bit of a flaw that does come up sometimes, and it's a bit shocking the first time it happens, just having it beep in your face like that and have a red flashing light. It's all in the name of safety, right? So it does think you're going to have a collision, warns you about the collision. You can make a judgment on that. If you have all your safety settings set to swerve and emergency braking and all that, which I have basically minimized all that because I am someone that likes to be in control and drive the car, be responsible for it. I've fitted it with accessories. I did put in floor mats, all-weather floor mats into this thing right away because it doesn't come with floor mats. And if you want floor mats, you can get some from Tesloid, and the link is in the description below. The other accessory that I use every single day is the MagBack phone charger and phone case, which I'm using right now, the charger to hold my phone to record this video. You can see it holds my phone in place, allows me to charge it at the same time. It has MagSafe technology, and then it's tilted just a bit, so it's perfect for the angle of my eyesight when I'm driving. And I find it charges much better than the standard wireless charging system that they have in the car. And it's probably because it has a proper MagSafe connection on it, as opposed to the wireless charger that's in the car that always seems to overheat my phone, not charge it well, and it's just overall generally not good for your phone's battery. The MagBack charger solves that issue for me. The other accessory that is more personal preference, but I really love changing it up, is the rim covers. So there's so many different rim covers that you can buy. I've been rocking the ones from Tesloid on here for a while. There's also other companies that make them and brands that I have discount codes to down below, so you can kind of check out the different websites and see which ones you like. But the Tesloid ones, I will say, have not come off and hold on very well. The ones from Yeslac are also super awesome, and I really like the ones that I have on the Model Y right now. Those ones have been great. How is supercharging on the Tesla network and Teslas? So with supercharging, something that I have not done a good job of explaining is that you have a Tesla account, which allows you to access your car with your phone. You don't need a key, you don't need a card, you just walk up to it, open the door, get right in. But with that account, I have my credit card set up with the account. So when I go to a supercharger, I literally back in, I walk out of my car, grab the charger, press the button and on the charger, and it opens up the flap on the car, and I plug it in, and that's it. That's all I have to do. It's good to go. Then you can see how much you're being charged on your screen. in the Tesla, as well as on the app. You can check and see the state of your charge, how much it's cost, and it really has been really great experience using Tesla chargers. I haven't had issues except for one time I had issues with the payment processing. Something went wrong with their payment processing system when I was in the States. That was a one-time thing, got sorted out. There's a video up here if you want to check that out, what happened there. I do love all the glass in the car. The one thing I will say about this 2022 model of the rear wheel drive is it doesn't have the acoustic glass in the back two passenger windows, and that has additional road noise to the vehicle. When you buy a Tesla that has acoustic glass on all the windows, it definitely makes a huge difference. I notice it night and day difference between this and the Model Y. Speaker system in the rear wheel drive is a little bit a step down below the dual motor, at least on this 2022 year. Wasn't a big deal for me. It sounded great, sounded awesome, until I got into the Tesla Model Y rear wheel drive that we have, which has the full system, subwoofer, everything. So then I had to immediately go and upgrade this and activate more of the speakers and install a subwoofer, which is all integrated and tucked away. I did that with Hansshow, and there's a video on the channel. You can check that out as well, and link in description if you're looking for that product. I am fully used to checking the speed in the corner of my eye on the big main display. That is something that I wasn't sure I was going to be getting used to too quickly, but I got used to it in about a week, and having that speed and everything on the main screen, I find it so much more user-friendly once you get used to it than having a bunch of buttons all over the vehicle. So what are some of the hidden costs of the Tesla Model 3 that I've experienced? So of course there is the Tesla charger, which I got installed back in 2022, and the price back then was $791 for the charger, taxes included. The electrician running the wire, 60 amp breaker, all of that, $1,291.31. And then I put the Michelin X-Ice winter tires, which I mentioned earlier in the video, at a price of $1377.47. You're wondering, of course, how much did charging cost between the home charger, supercharging, things like that? $516 over 2 years, so just about $250 each year. And then Tesla Internet, or internet connectivity, I've been using that. It's cost me about $205.53 over the 2 years, so about $100 a year is what that has cost me. So if you've enjoyed this video and you want more information on Teslas and Tesla Model Y, Model 3, follow along with my journey, make sure to hit the subscribe button, the like button, and the notification bell. Leave a comment down below on your thoughts, and if I missed anything that you want to know, please leave a comment below. Check out some of the other videos here on my channel, and stay tuned for lots more.